Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting English in the news. I hope you've been enjoying our previous lessons on France's recycling news and the heat waves hitting different parts of the world. If you haven't watched those videos yet, don't worry, you can find them here in our playlist for English in the news, and I highly encourage you to check them out. In our last lessons, we discussed the importance of recycling in France and how extreme heat waves can affect different regions globally. We learned lots of new words and phrases related to those topics. Now, it's time to expand our vocabulary further with another exciting topic. Today, we'll explore the phenomenal success of a popular movie that has been capturing audiences worldwide and breaking box office records. When a movie breaks box office records, it means it has collected more money than any other movie before. It's like the movie has won a special prize for being the most popular, and it's attracting a lot of people to watch it. So, before we dive into the details, let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched a movie that broke box office records? If so, what was the movie and what made it so special or exciting for you? Feel free to write down your answers on the comments below after this lesson to practice your English vocabulary.
Barbie has achieved remarkable success at the box office, smashing previous records set by Warner Brothers. The film collected an impressive $52 million in the US and Canada over 2 consecutive weekdays, surpassing the earnings of iconic movies like The Dark Knight and Aquaman. According to the entertainment news outlet Deadline, Barbie had a record-breaking Monday and Tuesday at the box office, with earnings of $26.1 million and $26 million, respectively. In just 5 days, the movie's ticket sales have crossed over $200 million at the domestic box office. Barbie's Tuesday earnings alone exceeded The Dark Knight's total from 2008 and Aquaman's haul from 2018. The film also claimed the 5th highest-grossing Tuesday in July, competing with blockbusters like Spider-Man, Far From Home and Transformers. Additionally, Barbie's performance on Monday secured the best-ever opening day for Warner Brothers, surpassing even Christopher Nolan's acclaimed Batman sequel, The Dark Knight. The movie has earned a spot in the top 15 Mondays of all time at the domestic box office. As part of the Barbenheimer phenomenon, Barbie enjoyed critical and commercial success, receiving rave reviews from fans and critics alike. IGN's review praised the movie with a 9/10 rating, describing it as a hyper-femme roller coaster ride that explores femininity and the pressures of perfection in a masterful manner. Both Barbie and Oppenheimer have cemented their place as major successes for their respective studios. As the movies continue their theatrical run, audiences are captivated by the film's storytelling and exploration of intricate themes in an abstract yet deeply engrossing way.
Before we begin, I invite you all to download the PDF with this article and definitions of the words and phrases we'll be discussing today. You can also copy the list of keywords and phrases from the video description to study later. Having this list at hand will help you grasp their meanings better and use them confidently in your English conversations. Also, stick around till the end for an engaging quiz that will put your newfound knowledge to the test. Alright, let's start with the first words in our title. Barbie, a box office sensation. Barbie, for those who haven't heard of her, is a fictional character and a fashion doll, a popular fashion doll created by the American toy company Mattel. She was first introduced in 1959. She has inspired generations of children and has been a symbol of imagination, creativity, and empowerment for young girls worldwide. Box office literally refers to the place where people buy tickets to watch movies in a cinema or a theater. However, it is also an adjective and it's used to relate to the number of tickets that are bought by moviegoers. Is a measure of how popular and financially successful the movie or an actor in it is. In this title, box office is an adjective used to describe the noun sensation. By the way, you might also notice in other texts that there's usually a hyphen between the words box and office. This is also correct. Some of the common words described by box office are flop, success, and hit. So we say a box office flop, or a box office success, or a box office hit. What about sensation? The word sensation refers to something remarkable or unusual or extraordinary that generates a lot of interest. It's something that causes a lot of excitement or discussion among people. It could be a shocking event, an incredible achievement, or a widely talked about development that captures the public's attention. From this title, we understand that the movie Barbie is a box office sensation. The great achievement or shock that the people or the public is talking about has something to do with its box office records, although at this point we still need more detail about that. Let's continue reading. Barbie has achieved remarkable success. Success is considered remarkable when it stands out as particularly impressive. It's noteworthy or exceptional in comparison to the norm or usual expectations. You can also say it goes beyond the ordinary and catches people's attention. What's remarkable about Barbie's success? Let's continue reading. Smashing previous records set by Warner Brothers. The phrase smash previous records is used when describing a situation where something, such as an event, achievement, or performance, has exceeded or is more than the previous accomplishments in an impressive manner. For example, if a new film collects a much higher amount of money than any other film before it, it can be said to have smashed previous records. The next sentence might explain this. The film collected an impressive $52 million in the US and Canada over 2 consecutive weekdays. Wow, 52 million. That is indeed a big achievement. Let's continue. Surpassing the earnings of iconic movies like The Dark Knight and Aquaman. Surpassing. To surpass is a verb meaning to do even better or to go beyond something. In the context of the text, it means Barbie did better than The Dark Knight and Aquaman in terms of making money at the box office. The two films are famous too, but Barbie movie earned more money. There's also that word, iconic. When something is iconic, it means it's very famous and well known. It can also mean that it has left a lasting impression in people, so strong that it represents a certain idea or style. In the text, it says Barbie's earnings surpassed iconic movies, which means movies that are known by a lot of people. Dark Knight and Aquaman became widely recognized and are also associated with specific characters and styles. The character of Aquaman, for example, is well known in popular culture, especially among comic book fans and moviegoers. He is a fictional character with strength, bravery, and the ability to control and communicate with aquatic creatures. Aquaman is recognized and celebrated as a cultural and fictional character, an icon, often representing themes of heroism, adventure, and the power of nature. Let's continue reading. According to the entertainment news outlet Deadline, entertainment news outlet. This is like a place or a website where people share news and information about movies, celebrities, and entertainment stuff. You can say it's a source or platform that provides information and news related to the entertainment industry. Examples of entertainment news outlets are websites, TV channels, magazines, and social media accounts that focus on reporting entertainment-related news. Deadline here is a website. Barbie had a record-breaking Monday and Tuesday at the box office, with earnings of $26.1 million and $26 million respectively. In the first paragraph, it says Barbie collected an impressive $52 million in the US and Canada over 2 consecutive weekdays. So here in the second paragraph, we understood that the 2 consecutive days referred to are Monday and Tuesday. And actually, the earnings for the two days amounted to 52.1 million. The figure in the first paragraph, 52 million, is a rough estimate. News writers sometimes provide rough estimates in main paragraphs rather than precise figures to simplify information while acknowledging that more detailed figure or analysis might follow. Let's continue reading. In just 5 days, the movie ticket sales have crossed over 200 million at the domestic box office. The movie have crossed over 200 million. Chunking words here might be a bit confusing because the meaning of have crossed is different from the phrasal verb have crossed over. Should we separate have crossed from over 200 million, or should it be have crossed over from 200 million? I think the correct chunking is have crossed and then over 200 million dollars. This chunking separates the verb crossed from the prepositional phrase over 200 million, which indicates the amount by which a ticket sales is more than 200 million. This structure helps to let us think that the ticket sales have passed a specific threshold, which is $200 million in this case. The phrasal verb crossover means to change from one style to another, or to be well known in a group, or to start to affect a new group. But again, this meaning does not make sense in a sentence, so we're not going to use that definition. All right, at the domestic box office. So domestic. When we say domestic in this context, we mean the country where the movie was made or where it's being shown. In this case, the United States. Here, we're talking only about the movie's earnings within US, not about its earnings internationally. Let's move on to the next paragraph. Barbie's Tuesday earnings alone exceeded The Dark Knight's total from 2008 and Aquaman's haul from 2018. Haul. A haul is an amount of money or things that are collected or gathered. In this context, we are comparing 3 hauls, that of Dark Knight from 2008, of Aquaman in 2018, and of course this year's Barbie. So what are we exactly comparing here? It's Barbie's Tuesday sales versus Dark Knight's Monday sale in 2008, and also Barbie's Tuesday sales versus Aquaman Monday sale. We just learned from the first paragraph that Barbie's Tuesday sale is at 26 million. And while it is little less than its Monday, which is 26.1 million, it actually still exceeded the sales for a Monday of either Dark Knight, or Aquaman. That's obviously a big achievement. Let's continue. The film also claimed the fifth highest grossing Tuesday in July, competing with blockbusters like Spider-Man, Far From Home, and Transformers. Grossing refers to the total amount of money earned by a movie at the box office through ticket sales. When a movie is described as highest grossing, it means that it has earned more money than any other movie within a certain time frame or category. In the context of the news, the category we refer to is the ticket sales on a Tuesday for the month of July, specifically for the month of July. I guess here the year doesn't matter as long as the movies are released in July. So when we say the film also claimed the highest grossing Tuesday in July, it means that the Barbie movie achieved the distinction of being the fifth highest earning movie on a Tuesday, even when compared to other big and popular movies like Spider-Man and Transformers. And by the way, there's the term there, the word blockbusters. A blockbuster, by the way, refers to a very successful and popular movie, mainly because of its large box office sales, widespread popularity, and significant impact on the entertainment industry. Some examples of blockbuster movies are Avatar, Avengers, Endgame, and Jurassic Park. By the way, have you seen these movies? Let me know in the comments below if you've seen these movies. Let's continue reading. Additionally, Barbie's performance on Monday, in the context of discussing a movie, performance typically refers to how well the movie is doing in terms of box office earnings, what the movie or critics think about it, or what the public think about it. But here in this phrase, I'm sure it's talking about the sales success. Let's continue. Secure the best ever opening day for Warner Brothers. Secure is a verb which means to get or to achieve. We often say secure a job, or maybe secure a deal, or secure a spot. Opening day, on the other hand, refers to the first day a movie is released in theaters and available for the public to watch. It's an important day for the film's success, as it sets the tone for its overall performance. So that phrase there, secure the best opening day, means that Barbie achieved the highest level of success on its first day of release compared to any other Warner Brothers movie's opening day in the past. It also says here surpassing even Christopher Nolan's acclaimed Batman sequel, The Dark Knight. We already know from the previous paragraph what surpassing means. But who's Christopher Nolan? Well, Nolan is a British-American filmmaker or director of popular movies like Barbenheimer and the Batman sequel Dark Knight. Sequel. A sequel is a movie that comes after another movie. It continues the story of the first movie. For example, if a movie is called Barbie 2, is the sequel to the first Barbie movie. It's a follow-up movie that continues the story of the previous movie or film. Dark Knight here is a sequel to the movie Batman Begins, and it's acclaimed. When a movie is acclaimed, it means it has been well received and appreciated by a wide range of viewers, including experts in the film industry and the general public. So it's really a big achievement for Barbie to be better than an acclaimed movie like Dark Knight. Let's continue reading. The movie has earned a spot in the top 15 Mondays of all time at the domestic box office. Let's talk about the word or the phrase earned a spot. This means getting a or position or ranking within a specific list or category. It's usually followed by the preposition in. So we can say earned a spot in the top 10, or maybe earn a spot in the top 15 Mondays of all time, or maybe earn a spot in the Hall of Fame. In the text, it says Barbie earned a spot in the top 15 Mondays of all time, which means it got a place among the 15 best Mondays in history at the box office. Let's talk about another phrase here, very popular, of all time. This is used to indicate that something is the best or the most popular or highest ranking in history or throughout a certain period. The greatest films of all time means that it is considered among the best movies ever made. The song described as a classic of all time signifies that the song has maintained its popularity over the years, becoming a timeless favorite. What's your greatest film of all time? Let me know in the comment box. Let's move on to the next paragraph. As part of the Barbenheimer phenomenon. So what's a Barbenheimer phenomenon? Well, Barbenheimer is a mix of the names Barbie and Oppenheimer, two really big and exciting movies that came out at the same time. People on the internet thought it was so funny and interesting that these two movies are so different from each other. Barbie is a fun and colorful movie about a fashion doll, while Oppenheimer is a serious and intense movie about a scientist who helped create nuclear weapons during World War II. When a thing is a phenomenon, it's widespread and extraordinary, often exceeding expectations. So Barbenheimer became really popular and many people were excited to see both movies. It has become a phenomenon. Barbie enjoyed critical and commercial success. To have critical success is to be well received by the critics. What's a critic? A critic is someone who reviews and analyzes movies, books, or other forms of art. Critics' opinions are often taken seriously in determining the quality of a movie. On the other hand, to have commercial success is to perform well in terms of earnings at the box office. Let's continue. Receiving rave reviews from fans and critics alike. We already know the meaning of critic. Now, what's a rave review? Rave reviews refer to highly positive and enthusiastic feedback or comment from critics or fans. When they give a movie rave reviews, it means they really loved it. The opposite of this is negative reviews or critical reviews. IGN Review praised the movie with a 9/10 rating, describing it as a hyper-femme roller coaster ride. Now, IGN here is a news website, and their reviewer or critic gave Barbie a very positive evaluation and assigned it a score of 9/10 or 9 out of 10. This indicates that the movie was highly appreciated and considered to be of very high quality. Now, let's talk about that phrase, hyper-femme. Hyper-femme is a style, fashion, or artistic expression that emphasizes feminine or female characteristic to the extreme. Qualities like elegance, grace, and delicacy are exaggerated. If a movie is described as hyper-femme, it means that it portrays female characters or beauty or themes too much. Now, roller coaster ride. This phrase is often used metaphorically to describe an experience that is full of ups and downs, twists and turns, and and intense emotion. In this context, it's describing the movie's narrative as being engaging, unpredictable, and emotionally intense. So when the movie is referred to as hyper-femme roller coaster ride, it means that the film not only strongly focuses on the feminine aspects, but also takes the audience on an emotionally intense and unpredictable journey. Let's continue. That explores femininity and the pressures of perfection in a masterful manner. Femininity refers to the qualities we link to being female, including characteristics such as being graceful, sensitive, and elegant. The phrase pressures of perfection, on the other hand, refers to the challenges associated with trying hard to be without flaws or mistakes. In this context, the movie Barbie looks closely into or examines the subjects of femininity and the challenges of perfection in an expert way. Let's continue. Both Barbie and Oppenheimer have cemented their plays as major successes for their respective studios. Cemented their place. When something is cemented, it's firmly established or made strong. In the text, the phrase means that both Barbie and Oppenheimer have firmly established themselves as significant achievements or wins. Let's continue. As the movies continue their theatrical run, there's that phrase there, theatrical run. This refers to the period when a movie is being shown in theaters or cinemas for people to watch. So during the period, the movies are still being shown in theaters and are being watched by audiences who are captivated by the films, film storytelling and exploration. There's a phrase there, captivated. When you're captivated, it means you're really interested and drawn into something. Another way to put it is that people are really into the way Barbie is telling its story. They are completely absorbed, interested, and engaged by it. An exploration of intricate themes in an abstract yet deeply engrossing way. When something is intricate, it's complex and deep. It's the opposite of simple or basic. When you read a book with an intricate plot, you'll have to give your careful attention to understand it because it might have many twists and turns. An example of an intricate theme in a movie could be about the balance between personal freedom and rules of the society. This theme might involve characters facing difficult choices between following their own desires and following what's expected by the society. Abstract. To be abstract is to be not easy to understand because it's not concrete or realistic. Popular collocation of this word is abstract art. An abstract art often focuses on the artist's emotions, ideas, or concept instead of representing objects in a realistic way. Viewers may interpret these ideas in different ways based on their own unique ways and imagination. Therefore, the Barbie movie talks about complex themes in a non-realistic and abstract ways, but in a deeply engrossing. When something is engrossing, it means it's very interesting and it holds your attention completely. So while the approach of the Barbie is abstract, it is deeply engrossing. The audience become completely absorbed and involved in it, often to the point where they lose track of time or maybe become unaware of their surrounding. So it's like being drawn into the movie so much that they're fully focused on it and find it hard to pull themselves away. So, to sum it up, Barbie is taking the world by storm, captivating audiences everywhere with her fantastic story. It's a movie that has won the hearts of many and created history at the box office. If you haven't watched it yet, you should definitely check it out.
Thanks for joining me in today's English in the News lesson. We've talked about a box office success and explored how a movie can become a global sensation. Breaking box office records is like winning a special prize for being the most popular and attracting huge audiences. So let me ask you that question again. Have you ever watched a movie that broke box office records? If you ask me, yes, I have watched a movie that broke box office records. That movie I watched was Avengers Endgame. It was a sequel to several other Marvel movies. It was highly anticipated by fans around the world. What made it special and exciting for me was the epic action scenes and the emotional storyline, and the fact that it brought together all the favorite superheroes in one film. The movie had a lot of surprises and twists, and it kept me on the edge of my seat all throughout. It was amazing to see how it surpassed the previous box office records and became one of the highest grossing films of all time. I still remember the excitement and buzz around the movie when it was released, and it was really a great experience to be part of that cinematic phenomenon. What about you? Share with us in the comments below. Now, let's do the quiz to check on your understanding of the words and phrases that you learned today. Great job with the quiz, and that's a wrap for today. If you enjoy this lesson, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more engaging English content. Thanks for learning English with me today, and I'll catch you in the next lesson.